Well, we were out here working on the truck trying to figure out the front brakes, and Austin found a problem with the rear tires and these Mustang rims. Let's take a look. Dang it. Okay, so these are a little bit wider, and Austin was riding in the back of the truck while I was going around the neighborhood, and there's only about 1/4 of an inch in between the bed. Oh, let me crawl up in here. The bed and the tire. And when the tire or the bed gets squished down, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. Pull down. So I can roll that in, but then I could never hook anything to it. Hey, I see a hornet's nest up in there, Austin.
Same, I saw two.
So what shall I do? I've got 1.5 inch spacers on there right now. I could potentially roll that in, or I could give me some longer studs, 2-inch spacers. Push this tire out a 1/2 inch. That wouldn't be bad.
Leave it in the comments.
Huh, dang it. So, oh, by the way, the front brakes, I think we're gonna need a wheel cylinder because the new one on the right side is a lot stronger than the left one, and so it pulls to the right pretty hard. Well, good morning. It's another beautiful Saturday, and I'm gonna tackle these rear tires and see if I can address the tires almost rubbing. I got an idea. All right, these tires with the spacers. Let's turn on this light. These tires, right there, you can see they're rubbing. So we're gonna roll that in a little bit, just a little bit. You'll never even know. Okay, it's hard to tell, but I rolled that in, so it's angled that way a little bit, that way a little bit. Still might rub right there, but we'll see. I'll throw this spacer on, Loctite it on, throw the wheel on, and we'll take a look. We're gonna put some Loctite on these things. Now we got some light. Inside, underneath these drums are brand new. The drums are brand new. We should be set on these things. And we'll put the lug nuts that came with it back on, or on, instead of our factory nuts. These were made for this, so that's what we're gonna use. All right, so Titan's website says that these should be 110 pounds. Sure doesn't seem very tight, 110 pounds. Okay, those are tight. Let's throw the wheel back on and check before rubbing. All right, that tire's on. All right, now that it's rolled back, there's a little bit more space between the tire, but not a whole bunch. Let's check this other side. I did both sides. Huh, this one has more space. So maybe it's just where the bed's been placed. So maybe I can just move the bed over. Here's more evidence to show that the bed is not centered. Okay, notice this. It's literally rubbing right there, and I can't get my finger in. Now, let's go look at the passenger side. You'll see right away. Okay, look at this side. Stick my whole hand in there. So it's definitely not centered. So that needs to be fixed. That's why it's rubbing. So these 1.5 inches might be fine. But 2 inches would push those wheels out a little bit. And on these F100s, the rear is narrower than the front, so kind of looks goofy, but still okay. All right, I've been trying to mount this tire with air. It ain't working. So let's try something we see on the internet all the time. Starting fluid. Where's the starting fluid? I had it here a minute ago before I got the phone call. Where did I put it? Here it is. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna work or catch the whole place on fire. We'll see. Well, that's not working. Well, how come that's not working? All right, I've made some progress. We got the tires and rims on. I still am not sure I like it. What do you think? Yeah, I'm struggling with how tall those tires are. My boy says it needs some love too. So let's do something about this. Oh, I got the brakes worked out too. No longer it's pulling from the side to side. I opened the drums up, wiped them down with brake cleaner, cleaned everything, readjusted everything. And so far my test drive today, not pulling to the right, it's not pulling to the left. Don't know if I'm not even getting any engagement on the right. I don't know. That'll be background stuff I'll probably work on. But I'm looking at this thing and the front end seems a little high. The front end did not seem high on the previous tires. So I'm going to check tire pressure, and then I might pull out one of those spacers that are in the coil springs up here. And this punching bag of my boys is in the way from seeing the goodness, seeing this truck. Let's see if I can get a better angle. Okay. Let's do some measurements over here. Try that. Okay, let's see. What are we sitting at right now? We are sitting at, okay, make sure I measure the same spot. This fender is 31 1/4. So the passenger side is 31 1/4. This side looks like it's leaning a little bit more than that one. Whoa, this is 30 1/2. It's got to be in that coil spring. 30 1/2 versus 31 1/4. Wow, that's a lot of difference. Interesting. So maybe that side needs a spacer pulled out. I better check tire pressure, because that's a big difference. See what the tire pressure is on this thing. Okay, this is at 30 pounds. This one over here on the driver's side, missing the center cap. About 26 pounds. First thing we're gonna do is drop this other side to 26 pounds, just so we are at the same poundage in the tire. Then we'll adjust it from there. Okay, this is 25 pounds. Okay, that's at 26 pounds now. Let's look at these spacers that are up in here. Let me grab the phone. Okay, I'm up underneath the passenger side. Notice there's two big spacers in there. So that's holding those apart, which is gonna raise the truck a little bit. So I think we should pull one out. See what's on the driver's side. Driver's side has 1, 2, but they're different. So that's interesting. And again, these coils might be worn out and need to be replaced. I've got Ford 250 coils in the garage in the back. I don't know if I could reuse those, cut them down. They might be the same. I don't know. I'll have to compare. But we could do something, or we just order some Ford Explorer coils in, like we did the other truck. Anyway, let's pull one of these out and see what it does to this side anyway. Well, that was easy. That spacer's been in there a long time. Let's take that little funky one out over here on the driver's side. Just like I remembered. Turn it in and wedges itself in. Okay, let's see if that made any difference. See if it made any difference. Okay. Well, that doesn't make sense, does it? Now I'm at 31 3/4. What in the world? 31 3/4. And the driver's side is at 31. Well, that raised it. What in the world? So that must squeeze them together. And those are in there for lowering? That doesn't make sense. Spreads them out. That's strange. We'll jump on it, exercise it. Measure it again. It's between 31 3/4 and 32. It's moved a little bit down. That is strange. What happens if I take both of those out? I'm just pulling them out with my fingers. And a claw hammer. Come on out of there. Okay, both of them are out of here. I'm gonna have to open that garage door. It's boiling in here. Okay. All spacers are out of the coil springs now. Did it go up or stay the same? Stayed the same. Well, maybe came down a little. 31 3/4. 31 3/4. What is this one over here? A little higher than 30 3/4, about 30 7/8. So, this passenger not moving. See what the rears are. Well, this one's on cardboard, so this is going to be a inaccurate measurement. But roughly 30 1/2 rear passenger and 30 over here. Okay, so the whole passenger side of the vehicle is a 1/2 inch higher or more. So could it be this rear over here? Is this half shackle flip different on each side? I've never looked at it. The spring count the same? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something's definitely different though. Well, I took a look at the Ford 250 springs and they have 11 coils. These only have like 7 or 8. So the 250 versions are definitely heavier duty. Don't know what that means, but we have those parts we can play with. But this is interesting. That's sitting up way too high. I need it to go down. I'm going to take it for a drive around the block and see if any of that made a difference. This thing almost looks 4-wheel drive from the outside. With all the torque of the 390, you can start out in third if you wanted to, or when you're at a rolling stop, just kick over to third. Okay, let's look in the driveway. Okay, this is the driver's side. Looks better. I think it's settled down a little in the front, but this side's always been a little bit lower. This guy is the one that's higher. Well, that's where I'm at. Where I'm at right at the moment. To be continued. Okay, Wyatt and I just got back from his baseball game, and we only have one light, one headlight. I might have already known that, but it has to be on high beam, else it doesn't work. And I know it's dark out here, but we got tail lights. We only got flashed once because I didn't have any lights on. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all.